Welcome to All Around Health Talk with your girl, Dr. Onyinye. Remember, this is a channel where our health is our priority. If you're scrolling through your phone and seeing my video for the first time, please go ahead and subscribe, join this family. We talk about health issues and we encourage each other to take healthy steps towards living a healthier life. Now, if you're an OG, returning again every other month, you're always here watching my videos. Thank you for being so loyal, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video. So we're finally at that point where the baby is delivered. We've been talking about a pregnancy for the past 3 months, and so finally we're here where the baby is delivered. Now, if you're a pregnant woman, this is the day you have been waiting for, the day where you finally meet your sunshine. So before we get right to talking about the D-Day, delivery day, and what to expect, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, put on your notification so that you get notified for every single time I post a video. Now, let's get right into it. It's the D-Day, it's delivery day. Delivery is the day every woman who has been pregnant for the last 9 months finds that they are filled with joy that they cannot explain because they finally get to meet their bundle of joy. Now, delivery day is divided into 3: labor, birth of the baby, and birth of the placenta. Now let's talk about labor because this is the first part of delivery day. It's the longest part of the delivery day and it's one of the most stressful parts of delivery day. Now, labor means basically a bunch of or a series of contractions that will help push the baby down to the birth canal. Now, this labor period will last between 12 to 19 hours in most women. If you are a woman who has given birth before, this should be faster. If it's your first time, it's going to be between 12 to 19 hours. Now, what's going to happen here? Your uterus is going to contract and relax and contract and relax until your baby is down in the birth canal and that baby is ready to come out. Now, labor is going to be divided into 2 different parts: early labor and active labor. But it's important for us to know that during labor, 2 important things are happening: dilation and effacement. Dilation is where your uterus finally opens up enough for the baby to come out. So it's going to gradually open up all the way to 10 centimeters for your baby to come out. At the same time, effacement is going to be happening. This is where your uterus begins to soften, shorten, and thin out in order for this baby to come out from the uterus. So these 2 things will be happening during labor. Now, early labor basically is going to last between 6 to 12 hours. In this period, your cervix will be dilating from 1 all the way to 5 centimeters. Okay, this is what happens in early labor. Now, it's going to be characterized by contractions that are 10 to 15 minutes apart, lasting for 1 minute. Now, these contractions will be mild and they are not so consistent. Okay, now, when this is happening, you're basically going to be at home. This is not the time for you to be in the hospital because it's going to take a while, but you want to be in communication with your doctor. All right. Now, what should you do during this phase? You want to take walks, you want to have a shower, you want to relax, you want to breathe, put into practice everything you've learned in your prenatal classes. Now, you're also going to notice that your vaginal discharge will be very light or light pink or a bit bloody. Okay, at this point, generally your water does not break until you get into the active part of labor. Now, your cervix has dilated all the way to 5 centimeters. Then you move into active labor. In active labor, contractions are more frequent, more consistent, they're stronger, and they last longer. The cervix will generally dilate from 6 centimeters all the way to 10 centimeters. Now, at this point, your baby is moving downwards because the contractions are stronger and they are regular. It will usually last between 4 to 8 hours. At this point, you need to be in the hospital. Your water might break at the end of this active labor phase. By the time your cervix dilates all the way to 10 centimeters, we conclude the active labor phase and we get into the birth phase. Now, during this active phase, you might have the urge to push. This is not the right time to push because if you push, you're going to make your cervix swell and it's going to be difficult for your baby to come out. So this is not the time to push. The time to push is once we get to the birth phase, which is after your cervix might have dilated 10 centimeters complete. Now we move into the birth phase. The birth phase will usually range from 30 minutes to several hours, and it will vary based on every woman. Now, The contractions are going to be longer, they are going to be much more regular. Your doctor is going to tell you to push, but you only push when you have contractions. When you do not have contractions, you rest, you breathe. When the contractions come, you push, because as you push with every contraction, your baby moves even downward. Your baby gets to the part where the baby begins to crown. That is when your doctor sees the head of your baby. Now, when your baby crowns, as the contractions come, you need to keep pushing with the contraction. The first thing that will come out is the head of your baby. So your doctor is going to guide the head of your baby to come out. Your doctor is going to put in his or her hands to check the neck of your baby to ensure that there is no umbilical cord around the neck. And if there is an umbilical cord around the neck, it depends on how many rounds the cord has made, but usually the doctor would be able to just pull it over the head. Then your doctor is going to guide your baby's shoulder to be delivered. Once the shoulders are delivered, the rest of the baby comes out. And that baby is out. And at that point, you begin to feel some level of relief, because now you're looking at your baby in the eyes. Now, during this phase, while you're pushing, if it's your first time, sometimes it might be difficult for the baby to come out. And in order to avoid tears around that vaginal area, your doctor will do something called an episiotomy, where he will cut some part of your vaginal pathway so that the baby can come out. Once your baby comes out, the doctor wants to suction the mouth and the nose of your baby to make sure that there are no amniotic fluids left in the airways. Then, obviously, the placenta, the umbilical cord, is going to be cut off to disconnect you from your baby. That baby is going to be passed to you, and you can now hold on to your baby. Now, this is where you've done the hardest job. Everything is basically over at this point. Then we move to the third phase of the D-Day, which is the birth of the placenta. Remember that the placenta was developed inside the uterus to take care of your baby. Well, that placenta now has to come out, because the baby is out. The placenta no longer has anything to do in your uterus. So yeah, you're going to still feel some level of contraction. It's going to be very mild. You're probably going to need to push one more time so that the placenta comes out. All right, so you need to deliver the placenta. Once the placenta comes out, a nurse might be rubbing your stomach the entire time to help contraction and help the placenta come out. Also, you might be giving an injection before or after the placenta comes out to help with the uterine contraction and to reduce bleeding. Once your placenta comes out, the doctor does not just fling the placenta away. The doctor has to look at the placenta to make sure that the placenta is complete. If something is missing, then it's probably left inside. Generally, the doctor will do a sweep with his hands or her hands in your uterus to make sure nothing is left over. And if an episiotomy was done, which is the cutting through your vaginal pathway, then the doctor will put anesthesia to suture up that episiotomy. If you had a tear during the process, the doctor will also take this time to suture up. Now, this is the process. This is all of it. Finally, your bundle of joy has arrived. You've been waiting for the last 9 months, and finally you have your baby in your hands. So this is what happens on the delivery day. In our next video, we're going to be talking about everything that comes after the delivery day. I'm excited talking about the delivery day, and I hope that as a pregnant woman out there, you're excited about what the delivery day will mean to you. Now, what I've just talked about is a vaginal birth. There are cases of C-section where all of this process will not be necessary. So I hope that this video has been very interesting for you. I hope that you've learned something very important from this video. If you have actually learned something, please go ahead and share this video with other people. Remember that we want people to be enlightened. Give me thumbs up to encourage me to make more videos. If you have any questions, comments, doubts, put them in the comment section and I'll get right back to you. But most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that we can continue to grow. Also, if you have not gotten a copy of my book, go ahead and get a copy from Amazon. It's titled Surviving Adulthood. It's inspirational, it's motivational, and it will change your life. So go ahead and get it from Amazon. I'll be putting the link of the book to this video so that you can easily access it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.